Well, hello and welcome to our Project Earthwork Yule Transmission. I am here. My name is Ceryn, and I am joined by my lovely and wonderful Project Earthwork sisters.
Hi everyone, and yes, happy Yule, and we're very excited to be here in this manic time. And yeah, and Charlie's with us this month, so we're really excited about that as well. Charlie,
Hello, I am here this month, yes. Under duress.
never under duress. So, yeah, I think we just want to have a quick chat with you guys just about the energies at the moment, what's going on, and like how everyone's feeling and stuff. Yeah, so Karen, I reckon like you can have a start.
And it's a funny time, isn't it? I think this time of year is such an interesting one. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're approaching Yule, we're approaching winter solstice, the shortest day, longest night of the year, which in itself brings a lot of complications, because let's be honest, there's a lot of people who are uncomfortable with the darkness and certainly uncomfortable with the cold and the dark as well. So that brings a lot of complications. Add in the fact that, wherever you are in the world, if you are in a country that really relishes the holiday season, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to be sociable. There's a lot of pressure to spend money. There's a lot of pressure to eat good food. There's a lot of pressure to see relatives. There's a lot, and it can be really joyful, and or it can also be really, really stressful, and it can be very anxiety inducing. And if we add to that this year, everything that's going on in the world, we're living in a very, very noisy world, and in a world that at this present time, we are seeing some horrific things unfolding and often finding ourselves, in a place of powerlessness, in a place of feeling powerless, in a place of, I've heard of more than one client recently who said to me, I really want to get into Christmas and get into that spirit of joy. And how can I when I then pick up my phone or I turn on the television or whatever and I see what's unfolding around the world? It's a real dichotomy for me. So I think we're in this time that has so much noise, and it is a time when actually traditionally, particularly here in the north, we should be hunkering down, we should be in our caves, we should be like, give me a blanket, give me a nice snuggly warm drink, and I'll be off to sleep for the next 3 months, and I'll see you guys all again at Inbulk.
Yeah.
It's completely the opposite of where we should be, right, energetically.
And it just feels like overwhelm is such a big thing, right? Like it's just like everyone's feeling overwhelmed because there's this like performance and like do this and expectations and all that type of stuff. And it's like that disconnection between our head and our hearts just feels so amplified at the moment. So I'm speaking to so many people who I can see and who are just in their minds, like overthinking, and like everything feels really like revved up. Like the whole time I keep seeing this like thing that's like almost like turned so tight and wound so tight, and it's just like fuck, I can't breathe, everything's too much. And it's because it's all here. So I feel like there's a real need for us to drop. I keep feeling like I just need to drop. I just need to go sit in the garden. I just need to go and have a walk in the forest to drop back into my heart, reconnect with the earth, reconnect with my body, because I think our nervous systems are really, really stretched to the limit because of what's happening in the world around us and this time of year. So it's just it's really, like really loud. It's turned up, exactly what you're saying.
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because joy has a very key role in our human experience, but it's the one we forget. It's the one that often gets put on the back burner, especially given the situations and the circumstance going on around the world. And I think for us today, or for me, is to remind us that no matter what we are going through or witnessing or experiencing, joy is always available to us, even if it's just the smallest parts, even if it's just a glimmer of joy that we get. So I think one thing I will say is if you find this video and it doesn't feel like the right time for you, save it, come back to it. It's not going to be that everybody feels comfortable with getting out of the headspace now. Maybe that's what is pushing you through Christmas, or maybe that is what is going to get you through if you've got family. So I think everybody is different. However, the world is very loud at the moment, very loud. And joy comes in the strangest of places. And I just want to remind people that it is an essential part of the human experience, and it's not a crime. It's not a crime to have an hour of joy with your kids, given what is going on the other side of the world. Is not a crime to enjoy a really good meal, because I think there's a lot of guilt at the moment and a lot of shame that's being thrown around, and I think that puts us in our headspace as well, and doesn't put us on a current timeline, because we're thinking, well, can I do more? Should I do less? There's so much going on at the moment. We're so torn, which is what puts us in our headspace instead of in our heart space.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's a really, really beautiful point that you make, Charlie, because I think that so often the thing, and I'm not talking about the big stuff here, because I'm fortunate enough to have never been in the situation that some people are finding themselves in the world at the moment, too many people. But think about the times when you have been going through something that is, in your experience, horrendous, and a moment of joy can literally turn your life, turn your whole day around, turn your whole week around, turn your whole year around. Like a moment of, I remember sitting at the end of the worst year of my life, feeling like look at this year on paper, it's horrific, look at all the things that have happened. And then had that moment of sitting and going, okay, what are the good things? What were the beautiful days? Where were the things that I'll remember during this as happy? And it switched the tone of it all in my year, in my mind. And I think just a split second of joy, it's like turning on a giant light in the dark. It can change everything so deeply, can't it? And we can't allow ourselves to feel guilt for enjoying life where we can, because Christ, that's what life is all about. That's what we're here for. And it's what, at the risk of sounding really cheesy, it's what we're fighting for. Like when we're fighting to change the world, we're fighting so that everybody gets to have joy, so that everybody gets to be in a place of joy and of safety, and fulfillment. That's what it's about. And if we can't remember that, I've got this sudden memory of the movie Armageddon, really, really cheesy. And there's a bit in Armageddon where I loved that film when I was a teenager. There's a bit where Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler are like getting it on, and she says something like, do you think there's any chance that there are any two people in the world are doing the same thing as we're doing right now? And he says in a really cheesy Ben Affleck voice, he's like, I hope so. Otherwise, what in the hell are we trying to save? And it's that. If we can't tap into the joy for ourselves, what the hell are we even doing? What the hell are we trying to save? I'm not going to fight right just now.
And it's those little pockets of joy that will inspire other people. So they're not selfish. It is not a crime, and it is not something to feel guilty about, because they are the lanterns that light the landscape for the other people to follow. And I think that's something that we need to come back to. And that's what today is about for us, is getting into our heart space, relighting those lanterns so that other people see that there's no shame and no guilt around your own joy.
Yeah.
Even if you're stressed, even if you haven't bought your turkey yet and you've got to go to the post office next week and all that shit.
And sharing the joy, right? Like I listened to that Gene, we all subscribe to the Gene Keys email where he shares with you a Gene Key every week. And he was talking last week about sharing being invisible in the ways that you share your joy or share whatever it was. And it's like that. It's, we don't have to, maybe you don't have the money to donate a shed load of toys to charity this Christmas. Maybe you are not in the position that you can go and march in the street to demand a ceasefire in the Middle East. But if you see somebody walking down a street who's looking really sad or who's looking really angry or whatever, and you can say, you can just give them a smile. It's so cheesy, but sharing those moments of joy, not because you're like, I'm so good, I'm sharing joy, but because it's something that you want to spread, because those lanterns, what a beautiful thing to be able to ignite a lantern for somebody else. Knows where they'll take that.
Yeah. And I think, I'm just thinking about Joe Gifford's joy stack that she does as well. I mean, those bring me so much joy when I see people sharing them, and they just and it's the little things. It's like going for a walk with your family and drinking a hot cup of cocoa and all that. And you and those are the things, right? It's like those little sparks, those little moments, like sitting and looking at the birds outside or listening to the songs. And it's just there's so many beautiful things that we get to be grateful for right now. So it's just putting our attention into that as space as well, that feels really important, because that will drop you back into your heart. There will be this flourishing, like, oh, look at that, and that changes the vibration. And that's what we're here for right now, is to really just, like, I love that, like the whole lantern thing, like you guys said, like, Charlie, it's just like, it is that, right? So yeah, and I mean, our mission is really to spread that light. That's why we're here as a group, as a team. Like, that's what we want to do. So just, like, step into that spirit with us today and allow yourself basically to open up your heart, because I do see so often it's like we immediately shut down when the stress and everything comes. It's like we close our little hatches so our lanterns can't be seen. So let's open up our doors today and allow ourselves to just go, like, check out this light in here and have some of that, share some of that. So it's really cool. So yeah. So do you guys want to, anything else you guys want to share before we jump in and do what we're going to do today?
Nope.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Ceryn, and then me, and then Charlie, and we'll see where we go today. So yay. Okay, fabulous. Thanks, babe.
So, as Yolandi said, we're going to start with me as per. So I invite you, if you're watching this, to just get yourself nice and comfy. Let's do a little bit of a circle opening up meditation before we start, before we tune in and see who this lady is who's been sat behind me trying to talk to me for the last hour. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just get yourself nice and comfy. And when you're ready, just start by bringing your eyes to a gentle close and taking a few deep breaths. And as you breathe, let yourself come into the rhythm, the pace and the depth that feel comfortable for you. Allowing yourself to breathe all the way in, nourishing yourself with that fresh, clean air. And then to breathe all the way out, letting go of anything and everything that doesn't need to come into this space. Perhaps letting go of that stress, that tension that we've talked about. And as you breathe in, letting yourself breathe in the awareness of that joy. It doesn't need to be the joy in itself, but the awareness of where it might be found. The flavor of the joy in the air. Before releasing anything and everything that might just be keeping you from that joy within you right now, even if just for the next little while. And as you continue to breathe, I'm going to begin by calling in a circle around us, calling this in across time and space, so that whenever and wherever you are listening to this and you are watching this, you know that you are being entirely held and enfolded in this safe and sacred space that is our Project Earthwork circle. So I'm beginning by turning to the north and to the earth. I'm calling out to the trees and the plants, to the animals, to the mountains, to the rocks and to the caves, to groundedness, to surety, to abundance, to nourishment, to fertility. I'm calling out to those trees that are the guardians of everything upon this planet, and particularly at this time of year, to those evergreen trees that remind us of their sturdiness, that remind us of the power to keep on growing. To keep on growing and keep on thriving no matter what is going on in the world around us. To the north and to the earth, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. And then turn into the west. I call to the west and to water. To the cleansing and the nourishment of the rains. To the depths and the shallows of the lakes. To the ebb and the flow of the tides. Into the release and the emotion of our tears. I call out to those great rivers and streams of consciousness, to the waterways of this planet that holds so much of our memory, holds so much of our wisdom, and to the whales and the dolphins that are the keepers of that consciousness. I call out to the waters within us, and I call out to every one of the tears that have been shed and are being shed at this time of year, and ask that each of them be held, be honored, be heard, and be used to water the intentions of the new. To the west and to the water, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. And then I turn to the south, and I call out to the south and to the fire, to the dragons, to the volcanoes, to the sun itself that is the great life force of this planet. I call out to the flames, to the candle flames that light the way in the darkness. I call to the great bonfires that are our places of protection and of gathering, to the wildfires that raise it all to the ground so that we may start afresh. And at this time, as we prepare for the sun to rise again after the longest night, I call out to that sun, to that radiant life force energy, and ask that it may guide us, that it may nourish us, that it may show us the way. To the south and to the fire, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. And finally, I turn to the east. I call to the east and to the air, to wisdom, to intuition, to logic, to imagination. I call out to the birds and to the butterflies. I call out to the clouds and to the winds, the gentle breezes and the great big gales, all of those that move us forward. And I ask at this time that those gentle ringing bells that can be heard on the air as we stand in this peace of the longest night, that the sound of them, that the energy of them, that the feeling of them may enter into our hearts and remind us of the possibility of intention, of the power of thought, of the power of imagination, and of what lies beyond as we start to imagine the new. To the east and to the air, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. With all of those elements called in, I draw that circle around us, by north, by west, by south, by east, and back to north, calling in a circle of protection, a circle of connection, a circle of wisdom, and a circle of safety, a circle into which every soul who is connected, who is watching, who is listening, who is part of this group, this gathering, who holds at their heart the protection, the support of this beautiful Mother Earth of ours, may be held, may be supported as we move through this space, this time, and this journey that is about to unfold for us. And into this circle, I call out to the center. I call to our guides and our helpers, our teachers and our inspirers, to our ancestors of blood, of stars, of soul, of heart, and of lineage. I call out to our own higher selves through all directions of time and space. As I call to the center, to soul, to space, to spirit, and to ether. As I call to the love and the guidance of spirit, to the power and the wisdom of soul, to the vast, limitless potential of space, and to the great mysteries of ether. And I ask them to be with us, to join with us, and to enter into our circle and work with us as we move through this space. At this longest night, I call particularly to the ether, to the darkness, and I ask that it may hold us, giving us a space to ignite our lanterns of joy, giving us a space in which to be, to feel, to connect, and to remember. To the center, to spirit, to soul, to space, and to ether, welcome. And in this space, I invite you to just feel yourself sitting in that liminal space that is the center of the great magic circle. Feel the beam of light that stretches all the way out of the top of your crown, stretching all the way up through space, out to the great central sun, plugging you into that great central life force energy that has been with us since before the very dawn of time itself. Feel the roots that move down through your spine and out of the base of your spine, moving all the way down into the earth, through all those layers of earth, of water, of caves and of air, of fire, into the very heart of our planet, into the very womb of Mother Earth herself. And feel that cord of connection that moves out from your sacral center, moving out through the earth, out through the stars, right the way out into the cosmos, connecting to that sense of possibility. Feel yourself now rooted into earth, anchored into cosmos, connected into source, held, beautifully held by all three of those energies. And as you feel yourself held, allow yourself to be in this space, to be replenished, to anchor in and to root in, knowing that each of these connections right now, in the most perfect blend for you, is giving you everything that you need, is holding you in the perfect space. So whatever you feel, whatever you visualize right now, is you receiving exactly what you need in this moment to feel fully replenished, fully rooted. And as that replenishment continues, I invite you to continue to sit, eyes closed, and listen as we invite forth the old grandmother who wishes to speak with us, the ancient one who has been waiting in the wings to share with us, by the light of her own lantern, the story she has to tell. So as I step aside, I invite her to step forward and talk through me to you now. At the very dawning of the earth was a moment of pure light, a moment of pure consciousness. It is what creates everything. When consciousness and matter combine, the new can be birthed. This is the story of the very dawn of time and space, was the moment when consciousness encountered matter and the birthing could begin. We find ourselves now, you and I, at a place when it seems so much is lost. A place when so often you may take yourself back to the ways in which you saw the world as a small child, the belief that anything was possible, the belief that the stories were true, the belief that magic was real. This back of mine, bent and bowed as it may be, has witnessed so much. I am she who sits at the center of the earth and witnesses it all to unfold. I am she who tells the stories around the fireside and knows in doing so that they will be twisted and turned over time, yet that does not make them any less vital to be shared, to be heard, to be taken into the hearts of those who hear them. The story I wish to share with you now is one of a new beginning, one of a dawning that lies on the horizon, waiting for so many to focus their intention on the belief, on the possibility of what could be. Let the imagery for just a moment run through your minds, placed there by your souls of what has been, not in the recent years and centuries and millennia and more, but so much further back also, in the times before time, in the eras before any such thing was classified, in the spaces which have long been buried and forgotten by those who require tangible evidence. Witness the images and the feelings flowing through your body and your brain as you recall the times that your soul has existed in something akin to bliss, in a world that felt full of potential and beauty rather than of fear and dread. We walk at this time through the birthing channel of a new world. We walk at this time through an experience of being both the birthers and the birthed, of being preparing for what will come, while also being those who will live in that as it arrives. This is quite the balance to hold within ourselves, our hearts, our hands, and our heads. It is a challenge to hold within you the truth, the belief, and the lightness of what can be, of what once has been, of the stories that you all know within your hearts and within your souls, and yet to look around you and see how far so much has descended. It is a challenging balance. There will be those who will push you to look away from the current world. Say that to focus, you must focus only on what could be and ignore everything that is going on around you. This is not the way, for the new world must come from the ashes of the old. We must be aware in every moment. We cannot alchemize and move. We cannot ourselves become instruments of transmutation without first feeling and witnessing and being transmuted ourselves. We must bear witness. We must bear witness not only in our minds, but in our bodies and our hearts. We must take up our arms, our pens, our platforms, and fight for the new. Yet do not let any tell you that in fighting for the new, in taking up your arms, in bearing witness, you are also to ignore the possibilities of what may be. Do not let them tell you that to cast your mind and your heart to a better age, to a better future, is silly, is mindless. It is in there that you will find the seeds that you are sowing. It is in the dreaming, in the planning, in the thinking, in the hoping, and in the envisioning that the new will be created and the new will be born. Remember that you are not only part of what is being birthed, squeezed through the birthing tunnel, but you are the birther. If you were to sit, my friends, with your hands upon your belly, to feel the kicking of the new life as it quivers and moves within you, imagine the joy. Imagine the joy that would erupt in your heart and your body, in your mind. Let that joy be yours. Let the quickening of the new earth within you lead the way, energize you through the birthing pains of the old. When the sun rises from the darkest night, this world will move into a new phase of its new becoming. When the sun rises from the darkest night, the world will be asked to shake off much of the old and to move ever closer toward the new. There is much still to change in the time ahead. Hold on to the quickening. As you stand tall, as you bear witness, as you pick up your weapons and do what you will to fight for the liberation of all, bear witness also to the quickening. Make plans for the life of what will come. Know in your heart the truth of all that you hold dear and all that you are dreaming into being. And remember in that time, should you require one to hold the lantern as she tells you the stories of the times gone past, as she dreams into being with you what may come to pass, I can be found at the center of the earth, waiting to share my stories. Go well through the long night. Go well through the bright awakening. Go well through this time of birthing. Good day.
So just taking a deep, deep breath in right now, that beautiful energy. And just putting your attention into your heart right now. Duata la ke muata le shetrene kiva. Mandara ka selu shetuana ikireniki shuta utara la shin. Mbotra ka sekutua la I tahinda hira se shosahi kuroto tahinda hila shembake. Duata kera se shahi shalese ravasiki shinduateke. So, as we are here together today, sitting in this beautiful energy, haratekinda hiako, allowing our bodies to soak up tudunduatakera siase hiake, the energies that the earth has been providing for us, sietarahinda hioko la shekutaiake, that the sun has been providing for us, matala e koronoko sake. As you now look in front of you, Dain, as we're sitting on this beautiful open landscape, Tutaike, casting your gaze upon the sun in front of you, Handatera nake leshondoroso kohiake. Allowing that light from the sun now to move deep into your heart space. Totoiake, feeling how you are allowing your body to receive this light. Torototahiake. And as they were showing me now, how Mother Earth every single day prepare herself to receive the light of growth from the sun, as all of the plants and all of the living beings prepare themselves and cast their eyes upon the sunrise every single day. And as this light flows into the space, into the atmosphere of this planet, how it facilitates growth, and how it lights everything up. Every single cell. So as we sit here today and we invite in this new light that is coming to us now as the seasons change, and as the cycle of life continues on our beautiful planet. So as we receive this light into our hearts, into our bodies, into our consciousness, I want you to become aware of the sun as this beautiful portal that plugs right into the center of the universe, back into that beautiful central sun. And as we allow ourselves to receive those codes now into our hearts, those codes of hope, those codes of love that comes to us now, that is allowed to be flooding into our consciousness again, to allow us to drop into our hearts again, back into this space of seeing the world through our hearts again, and not through our minds but through our hearts. So as you feel this light starting to grow within your body right now, I want you to focus on where there might be resistance within your physical body, where there might be pieces of you that is not wanting to allow this in, where the doors might be closed. And I want you to feel into the benefit of allowing yourself to open up today. Even though your mind might be telling you that it's safer to keep the doors closed, your heart is asking you to open the doors today. Your heart is asking you to receive these beautiful codes, these frequencies, and this light back into your being and into your awareness and into your heart. Allow yourself to let go, to today. And do tahi a ke rasi ande tahi o ta ta ta. With so much love in your heart, just allow yourself to let go. Do ta tahi a ke, all that is preventing you from receiving today. For this moment, allow yourself to receive no tua ta ke rasi anda ki a ke. Because it is through this receiving that we enhance this experience of giving. And when we allow ourselves to receive this love that is straight from source, this energy, this light that is straight from source, everything opens up within us. The floodgates of love that we can bestow on this planet towards other people. It's this beautiful, it's like a waterfall of golden light that runs across this planet. If we allow ourselves to receive. So as we sit here together now and we allow ourselves to receive this beautiful golden light coming in, and feeling how you allow this now to run out into the world around you, and that beautiful light, just see it spreading by your feet all the way out, and as others start to walk through this light, and they receive from you what you received and you are giving out, it will assist their hearts as well. And this beautiful relationship that we have with giving and receiving, giving and receiving of this light, if we allow that to spread in this season now, in the season of giving, place your focus on giving the love, giving that light out into the world. It's not about the physical presence and being there in the big parties, but it is about the light that you get to give out, because you are receiving. And the more you step into awareness of your ability to receive this light every single second of every single day, and becoming aware of that connectedness that is always present for you. You just have to receive. So please allow yourself through this time now to step into receiving, because then giving is just another act that happens without you even having to think about it. It's like a beautiful spreading. So now as you allow yourself to step into that space of just receiving, Madundarawa akerena la shunduru sundua takela maela shitorata indua. Masekirezi gulojo traia sundua takere shala sama ikinda. Ingienda tatu la tamua takere isiki savase kunua. Elishinuto la akesa enda. Emuaturu shukwase ke la shitorunuto. Hayokotana indele misikia bo podia tarasuasa ke anaseke. Ashindolo so sakiase. Le shotoro so soi. Do dai ho ke yase. Dai soi tan. And I want you to just feel that energy in your hands right now. Feel it in your legs. Feel it in your third eye right now. As this light is starting to shine up the spaces within our within our brains literally lighting up, matatahi, of course, our ability to perceive the higher frequencies, the higher energies that is coming to us right now, that is part of this period ahead of us. And that and if we can look through our hearts, through our third eyes together, connected, you can see all of the possibilities. You can see what is available to every single one of us. And that when we start looking and living through our hearts. So as we open up this sight now, as we open up our ability to see through our hearts, and allow ourselves to step now into this time with the sight of our hearts opened up again, and so you can feel that light again, and that beautiful joy and the bliss of this experience of being human on this beautiful planet, connected to all of these amazing souls, and all of the life teeming around us on this planet, held by our great mother, Munuata Elosha Kusake. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tatenda he kulutuaten hayamase kuto. And just staying in this space as I invite Charlie in now. Harateke naseoko.
From the ashes of the fire that illuminate our lanterns, let the joy be rewoken. As we sing back the final thread of this weaving, as we flesh our bones with winter with the joy that is yet to come, and the joy that will be. We celebrate with the Selkies and the Sirens for the new skins we have found this year. We celebrate the joy of big and of small. I call upon my sisters of the dark alchemy this winter Yule, as they gather side by side with my sisters of the light. I call upon my brothers, the bard, the warrior, and the king. I call upon our guides, our ancestors, for the guidance of the bear, the protection of the wolf, and the flight path of the owl. We ask that the spirit of the land use us as its mouthpiece, as we reattune to joy. And as we each carry with us our newly illuminated lantern, as we take it to the corners of the land, our home places, our birthlands, our communities, and our families and friends, as we illuminate lanterns with our own, as we share our flame with those who may not have a flame that is as strong, as we allow this heart light to lead us. I ask that you take a moment to look around you, to take a moment to acknowledge not only the light that is within you, but the light that is within others. Never a light that stands alone, always a light that stands by another, guiding us, leading us, returning us to that connection that is lost and forgotten. And now, as we ground back into the earth with a low humming of a winter song, with our hearts we give gratitude. To the east and to the air, to the south and to fire, to the west, to the water, to the north and to the earth. We send our wildest love and our deepest thanks to our ancestors, our spirit guides, and all who have joined us today. We also send you all great gratitude and warmest heart wishes.
Thank you.
So, that was really beautiful. Thank you both so much. And thank you all for joining us, or for tuning in to watch this back. We're recording this and putting it out later because we will all be deep in our own Yule celebrations and our own Yule experiences as you're watching this. So wherever you are and whenever you are watching this, we give you thanks for joining with us. We give you thanks for being part of this circle, part of this mission. Thanks for carrying those lanterns of your own light and your own joy. And we wish you a blessed Yule.
Thank you so much for joining us this year. Thank you so much for all your support. And we just really appreciate every single one of you who've watched our videos and shared it and just like taken our little lights out into the world as well. So really appreciate that. And may you have a blessed festive season and the best New Year's celebrations as well. Charlie?
Just sending you all lots of love and thank you for being here with us. I need to do all the 3D shit, so like, subscribe, share, all those things. If you're not in our Facebook group, come find us on our Facebook group. We have big plans for next year that you don't want to miss. So make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. You know, all those things that we try and avoid.
That's why you're here, to keep reminding us.
They are still kind of essential, unfortunately, on some sort of level. So one day, maybe not. Yeah, just sending you loads of winter blessings. I hope you get to spend as much time as possible with the people that light you up, the people that you feel comfortable with, that allow you to shine. And we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.